you got?
So I was talking to your sister the other day, Kristen, who's way cooler than you. And
true.
I was telling her about the fan fiction I'm writing where your wife leaves you for her. And she was telling me that either you or Becky had a dream that happened at one point. And I was just hoping to get some more details from my fan fiction.
Oh, man, I don't remember the exact context, but I did have
Yes, you do. You're just trying to opt out of it.
What are you doing here, stepsister? No, that's gross. That's disgusting.
Oh, help, I'm stuck in the washing machine.
No, I don't really have any more details from it, but yeah, I did have a vivid dream where, like, Becky was straight up was like, you know what, like, I thought that I knew you, and I thought that, you know, we had a good thing going, but then I met your sister, and, you know, her and I disconnect, and I never really got through, I never really had that phase or that moment for me in college, you know, I tried it, and I liked it, and I think I'm going to go with her now.
Okay.
And the dream was basically more, like, sad, because then I was like, how much stuff was on auto pay, and I didn't know how to log in stuff.
Because he now realized he doesn't have the wife privilege anymore. He's like, oh no, how am I going to live?
It felt so wrong, it felt so right, and I'm not married tonight.
I feel like that's a good point.
And speaking of incest porn, hi, Cumslingers, and welcome to the Disinformed podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
And I guess this is where we have our confessions.
Ever.
Could you please pronounce that properly
I'm sorry.
for once?
The best Sigourney segue. I'm sorry.
God bless you. I appreciate that. And also, Michael's wet dream has finally come to fruition, speaking of cum-slinging. We have comments on YouTube.
What?
There are about 87 that I was engaged with Superfan Michael today, seeing how much I could milk out of the man, and it's never ending.
That's a phrase to use.
I do have to state for the record that I do apologize that I offended him with my ageist comment last week.
If I can defend our superfan in his stead, because he's not here to defend himself yet, but he is apparently in the process of gaining his doctorate. And I have indicated that if he gets his degree before you do, I will fly him out here to celebrate in front of you, you failure of a fucking human being.
So you better start saving up then.
I'm prepared.
You're going to be flying him out.
I told him this is not a hard hill to climb. I realize this is going to happen with very little effort on your part, but I still just want to watch the light leave your eyes as the better, gentler Michael
of course
finally comes in and just cucks you officially in the way God has been doing for so many years.
Well, Shane,
just on an educational front.
The interesting part about what you bring up in your arrangement is that it's a really low stakes for you, because nowadays with credit cards, like, you probably already have like a free trip just in points.
Absolutely.
You know?
True.
So,
yeah.
I'm really glad. It's going to be great to meet Michael is all I'm saying.
I was saying, I guaranteed a flight. I didn't say on what. I know a pair of very able geese that are going to be flying him over from Texas.
You're just going to shoot him a quid pro pro, doctor.
Well, the best part about it is, didn't he just start his associates like last week, and he's still going to beat Michael?
Uh-huh.
Well,
yeah.
Overachievers.
He's not the only. I was going to say
hard.
he's not the only one that's going to.
So,
Michael.
in other words, in the words of Hannibal Lecter, as John was just getting to, fly, 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 little Michael.
Yeah.
Also, thank you, Superfan Michael, for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that immensely. He actually did reach out to me and wish me a happy birthday, and so I thank you for that.
Hey, Michael.
Yes.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
When was your birthday?
Thursday.
Monday. Well, a week ago, as of the publish of the.
Okay. Hey, Michael.
Yes.
When are you going to die?
Not soon enough.
That's when I'll celebrate.
Me too.
And speaking of death, dismemberment, and things that are otherwise perilous to our general health and welfare, other than wearing a robe on air, Courtney is going to be delving into a very entertaining topic this evening, and thus, to appropriately sieg for Michael. Oh, I see. Well,
it's called a fucking cardigan.
Darth Clitoris over here again.
I can go get my cardigan.
Emperor Palpatine.
That is actually my penis's name.
That was a good one.
So, what we typically do on this glorious show is we delve into random esoteric topics, and in the course of explaining it to one another, we occasionally lie. That is the shtick that has held us for over 2 seasons running. And the joy of the show is that the co-hosts, inept as we are, attempt to ferret out these lies as we hear them, but we fail miserably in most instances. And luckily for those of you listening along, the host will, of course, have a little denouement at the end where they explain the things they lied about for those of us who are a little too simple to catch them. And so that is how we usually start, and Courtney is going to show us how we usually finish, which is early and to much disappointment for everybody who's in the room.
I swear this never happens. I swear.
That's it? I thought it'd be...
You were going to get honor around a topic, probably.
Hey, and usually it's John's sister who's disappointed in these situations. But...
Very true.
But yeah, so I gave you guys a choice to pick the topic tonight, so this should be really interesting.
I'm also going to indicate that I lost in that choice.
You did.
So...
You were outvoted. But I will say that
the
for
ramen
another
I did
time.
have was delicious, though, I'm going to mention.
Did you go out for it, or did you have instant ramen?
No, we ordered in.
Whoa.
And this place is apparently very close to my new abode, so I will be having it frequently.
Ooh.
Like within 5 minutes from my house.
Oh,
so
that's great.
Nice.
I'm going to be a brothy motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous. Our favorite ramen spot's like 30 minutes from where we live, so.
I'm got that Popeyes hookup. I've got the ramen. I'm just I'm going to be 500 pounds by the time I move out of this home.
You're not going to move out.
You'll have to wheel them out.
You'd hope.
So.
Yeah, they won't be able to. They'll have to cut a new door in there just to get me through. Anyway, Courtney, you were saying.
So, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I suck at video games. Like, I am absolutely trash. And to point out how trash I am at video games, have any of you guys played Skyrim?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys remember the opening scene of Skyrim where you like, there's the dragon, and then you go up the stairs and blah, blah, blah?
And then you start licking lovingly around its ring piece?
Yeah.
That's a mod. That's not the normal standard game.
Oh, I see. Well,
That's not vanilla Skyrim.
Then I won.
It's chocolate Skyrim.
Oh.
I prefer the bleached version, thank you.
Oh.
I actually
Me
prefer
too,
the
Daddy.
Thomas the Train version of Skyrim.
That is
Oh.
my favorite mod from Skyrim.
Actually, I'm going to go with Watermelon Skyrim, if I can.
I don't even want to know.
But we know the scene I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, you climb up to the top of the tower, and then there's a hole in there, or hole in the wall, because the dragon fucked it all
Whoa,
up. And you have to
spoilers!
jump-
I didn't get that far. Whoa. Because
Now, the hole in the wall, was it a glorious hole, would you say?
Well, it's where the boys can see it all.
Where the dragon fucked it?
I can think of several mods where... Ooh. Anyway,
It
sorry.
exists.
Oh man. So Jonah thought it'd be really funny to make me try to play Skyrim because I am so bad at video games. So I get to the spiral staircase. I fall off the spiral staircase. There's a fire at the bottom. I died.
And it's in a scene where you're basically not supposed to be able to die at all.
It's
No.
the tutorial. It's actually,
Yes.
once you get your character chosen, it's about 5 minutes or so after the actual beginning of the game
I was gonna
proper.
say, like,
So
The
it's
whole-
kind of like bowling with the gutter guards up and still missing all the pins.
You actually land in the lane next to you and still get a gun ball.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the baseline for how
Okay.
I deal with video games.
That's funny because it's nowhere near as hard as exposing the webcam on a laptop.
What?
Anyways.
Inside joke. Moving on.
So basically, no, shut up, Michael.
Okay.
So any first person games, I can't do it. If there's 2 cameras, if I have to adjust it, I cannot play that game. And then in addition to that, one of my favorite games has boss fights in it, and I don't like to die, and I'm very afraid, so I make Jonah play all the boss fights. So, yeah. that's where I'm at. But recently I found a genre of game that's just for me. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I do have 6 lies for you. But I'm going to open you up with my history of gaming because...
You're going to clean it up.
Because I think that's really going to point to why I can't game and why I can only play games made for children.
She got game.
So growing up, my dad had saved his Super Nintendo from when he was a kid. So
Nice.
we actually grew up playing Super Nintendo. We had...
Wait. You Super Nintendo from when he was a kid?
Are you talking about the NES or the SNES?
Because
I don't know.
if that means that your father and I are contemporaries, I'm starting to have a wealth
scary.
of issues. To...
How old's
Well,
your
he
daddy?
may have been like 20s. I don't know.
Okay.
That was what they told us. They said, we've had this forever. Your mom and I used to play when we were younger.
Okay.
That makes a
me
lot
feel
more
better.
sense.
Yes. So otherwise, I don't need to be volunteered for the secondary state of daddy who's not my daddy.
Ooh. Second place.
Guys, I don't know anything about video games. Don't ask me.
I mean, that's a good indicator, so
Yeah.
there you go.
I don't know why I'm even talking about this. But anyways, so we grew up playing Super Mario Bros. We eventually graduated to like a GameCube and we had a Wii. My favorite memory of the GameCube and probably my favorite game or favorite memory ever of my brother is we were playing Crash Team Racing. And I beat him so bad that he was kind of sitting on his knees. He slammed the controller onto his junk and cried for 5 minutes. And that's still the best thing that's ever happened in my whole life.
Can we talk about the
Has
perils?
layers.
He still can't have kids to this day.
Thank God.
Like the perils of sibling gameplay is quite possible. Like families have been rent asunder. Because my brother and I nearly went to fisticuffs over, like, NHL hockey games back in the day when we were younger. I know John almost lost his entire relationship with Kristen based on a basketball game.
Yeah, and it really tore the South apart, too.
Yeah, indeed.
Huh. That wasn't the case for me and my sister. Both of us were so defeatist that if one of us gave up, if we were playing a game against each other, we would just start killing ourselves instead of each other.
Well, I mean, Michael, it took you 3 years to turn the fucking thing on in the first place. I'm not surprised that it wasn't something that you could escalate that quickly with.
Yeah, that makes sense. She kind of just didn't understand how to play the game at that point. She's like, well, if that's what I need to do, then okay.
And
she was still learning the on button herself.
You kept changing the way you wanted to approach the controls, from my understanding.
It's supposed to be, the cord is supposed to be pointing at you, right? It's supposed to be like pointing like a pitchfork toward the TV.
No, the cord's supposed to wrap around your neck until you stop seeing stars.
Oh, see, I'm still learning. So you're not the only one, Courtney.
Try it again tonight.
I will.
You'll get there, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my gaming is so bad that Jonah and I bought a game to play together, and it was like a Mario game, and you could like pick each other up and like throw each other to like help. And I just one day like didn't use the right controls. I picked him up and threw him into the lava, and then he didn't want to play with me anymore. Like
That's not an indication of your playing ability. That's him being a sore loser.
But we were a team.
If you're sore loser, if you're trying to get ahead and that involves throwing him into lava, if he can't handle the heat, he should, get out of the kitchen. So
I wasn't aware that this was Dr. Michael's.
I mean, I'm only partially defending her because I did that myself. And I can think of the exact same game. It was on the Wii, if I recall correctly.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers Wii. And I did
Love
that
Line
many
featuring
times.
Dr. Spew. Yes.
There we go. Thank you.
So naturally, as a kid, I gravitated towards games that were very low stakes. Mall Tycoon, Cooking Mama, Nintendogs. Anything where I couldn't die was my preferred game.
Let me call bullshit on Cooking Mama, because that doesn't sound like a real thing.
Oh, it is. It's
is.
actually like a franchise. I watched one of my YouTuber things that I watch. He did like a whole thing on the franchise. It's crazy. It's like Bejeweled, like in terms of how extensive it is. Like how many games there are. There's like 1 million of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So essentially, Courtney, you were playing the games that like Asher thinks like, who the fuck ever would play these?
Uh-huh.
You're playing these.
It's me.
I never played Nintendogs because I thought I could kill the dogs because I thought they were like Tamagotchi pets.
You know, Michael.
And I didn't want to see like a digital looking dog like just be dead because I forgot to, pet it a couple of times.
Michael's like, I'd rather kill a real dog.
That's why I never took care of any of my pets. It was all my parents' pets. They never were like, that's your dog.
He goes, the whimpering makes it real. I need it.
Yeah, not if you want him alive, it's not.
And depending upon the restaurant you go to, Tamagotchi is something you can order.
In this economy?
In this economy? So my genre of games, and apparently Jonas's is not a real genre, which who made him God? I don't know. But it's called cozy gaming. So the reason I discovered this was there was a girl on TikTok who was like, oh, like these are my favorite cozy games. And I was like, who are you? What are these games? I need to play them right now. And so kind of the whole design behind cozy gaming is to have a way to really like relax and just like slice of life type games. Just we're hanging out, we're having a good time. It's not like my other favorite game, Overcooked, where I get to yell at everyone because they're not sending out tickets in the right order, and this is my fucking restaurant, so get your shit together.
You actually do really well at that game.
Yeah, because she's yelling at everyone what to do.
Right, I'm in charge, so it works for me. So these games, part of it is that the game is cozy, but part of it is the aesthetic that you're going for while you're playing this game. You gotta have your cozy blanket, you gotta have your candle, you've got your cup. Shane dressed for the occasion, he's got his robe on. You gotta have your cup of tea, like, we are getting cozy, and then we are gaming.
Wait. Shane, you're wearing a robe?
I'm wearing a robe, yeah.
I thought
I am a semi-retired man of leisure, and I wanted to make sure I dressed the part.
I am so sorry for my comment earlier, because I thought you were trying to like throw like subtle shade at me for wearing the cardigans. I was like, why do you call it a robe? Because I thought you were wearing like a like almost like a button up, but you just left the the top.
No. This is my robe. I'm going full soprano this evening, so I've got just boxer shorts, a robe, and my my compression tee on.
The reason I grabbed the cardigan before I came up here is because I knew we were talking about cozy games, and I wanted to be fucking cozy.
Yeah, we all were. We were in on the joke.
Okay,
I'm just
so sorry. I think it was just because I had the lag issues. I wasn't quite there.
Yeah, if Junior Soprano and Tony Soprano had a baby, it me.
Dowdy. Anyway, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're great. But yeah, so the aesthetic, and there's Instagram accounts you can follow that are like, let me set up my gaming situation and then we'll get started. We're nice and cozy. It's awesome. But some people take this in a different way that I don't really understand. So there's like kind of two separate lanes for cozy gaming. There's like the cute ones that I play, and then some people find like horror games like really relaxing, which I feel like that's more
called sex workers.
Sex worker games.
One specifically that I was reading about is called Carry On, something like that. And it's basic.
I know what game you're talking about.
Oh.
It's called like a reverse horror.
Right, so you basically play as like a slime monster, and you go around and you kill people and you absorb them, and you just kind of like go through the lab where you were created, and that's like the whole thing. And
I've seen the trailer.
So it's my career.
Yeah. You're the horror itself.
Yeah,
it's not
you
scary,
play the
you
horror.
are the scare. Yeah.
Sex worker.
So there's that kind of type of gaming, or you have what I'm into, which was like 700 hours of Animal Crossing New Horizon during the pandemic quarantine times.
It's one of my favorite Flyleaf songs.
Pandemic times? Yeah.
No. New Horizon.
Oh.
It's a great song.
It is. It's a marvelous song.
Why don't you marry it?
I mean, I tried. I can be rejected. And have.
Oh.
I mean, who can get married these days? Not in this economy.
No.
True that.
No economy.
So I think I was telling you guys, basically, the type of games that I'm into are more of the cutesy ones, like the Animal Crossing New Horizon, which I played an ungodly amount of.
Straw Throttle.
If you saw my island, you would understand the 700 hours worth of work. It's beautiful. I haven't played, though, in a couple months. It's probably covered in weeds now.
I've never even looked at this game, so here's the joy of me being the anachronistic standout of this particular group.
You're not the only one. I never played Animal Crossing. but it actually like time passes in real time in that game.
Yours was more of an attempt to genetic crossbreed animals, I think, if I remember correctly.
That is right. Yeah.
You said that, and I just remembered like Full Metal Alchemist. So,
Michael, do you? He admitted it. Hey, Michael, do you know what you would call the cross between a rhino and an elephant?
No.
I know.
So dumb.
That broke me a little.
I'm sorry, Courtney. Please continue with your crossing the animals.
This is great. Another one that I think probably only Michael will be familiar with is like the Dragon Quest franchise and Dragon Quest Builders.
I mean, I know of it, but I never played it.
Okay.
So
that one.
I'm not a.
Oh,
weeb.
he's dragon.
That one's a JRPG, but they made a version for people like me who can't do all the fighting that's like Minecraft adjacent. So you go around and collect materials, and then you build a town and you fortify it, and then Jonah comes in and plays the boss fight, and then you move on to the next town.
So Jonah just does this ubiquitously for everyone then.
They're all just sitting there playing, he's minding his business, and then you just hand him boss fight. Huh? Oh, okay, all right, let's go.
Well, and that's the best part of it is like he doesn't need to know the controls. He'll just take the control and he'll be like, and then 10 minutes later, I'm like, cool, I can start building stuff again.
So, which of the films should we utilize as Jonah's new handle? Should he either be A, Boss Baby, or B, Boss Level?
Boss Baby, 100%.
Boss Baby.
Can it be a Boss Baby Back in Business? The sequel?
No.
Okay.
It's Boss Baby by a landslide.
All right.
I'm just going to do Boss Baby.
Okay.
And I know John will be familiar with this one because I wouldn't shut up about it for a while, but it's got cozy in the name. And that was a game I was obsessed with for a solid 3 months called Cozy Grove. And in that game, you play as a little creature cadet and you go around and basically you're on this haunted island and there's all these bear spirits and you have to do tasks for the bears so that they can regain their memories and then go off to the afterlife. And the reason that this game is so compelling, because honestly, it's kind of like a mobile game, like you do the tasks for an hour and then you like don't touch it for the rest of the day, is the dialogue that the bears have is some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen. So like, for example, they have a mayor in town and she like is constantly telling you all the shady stuff she's doing to like be the mayor of the town. For example, there was one point where I had to bring her materials and she was telling me about a statue in the town and how she paid the person who made the statue to use a bunch of cornstarch in it to save money so that she could pocket the money. Another quote from her was, it is said that absolute power corrupts absolutely. Wise words, no doubt. Still, if someone wanted to test that theory out, I could be persuaded to volunteer my services.
This is very Night Valian at this point. If she starts hurling hatchets at reporters, I'm gonna be suspect.
Are either of those stories bullshit? The cornstarch or the quote?
No.
They're both true?
They're both in the game.
And
also,
you know, the best part of the whole thing is if you help the bears enough, you get a free My Pillow. I'm Mike Lindell. I sponsor this because we're helping the bears.
I mean, he might be more. There's a bear that's like Wolf of Wall Street themed, and he tries to sell you his coins so that you buy stuff from him at like obscene prices. And he's talking about how you can build an economy from scratch and nobody will care. You can just do whatever you want.
Build an economy from scratch?
Oh yeah, or he's like you can just like make whatever money you want and you can get people to buy into it. I think it's supposed to be kind of a joke on Dogecoin is kind of where they got their whole shtick for him. But he's hilarious. And then there's a drunk sailor bear that lives on the beach and you constantly have to go find him more alcohol.
I could dig it.
It's the cutest game. But eventually you unlock all their memories and their memories are how they died. So it's like, super nice.
It's a bit traumatic.
So whether it was like health related or like a car accident, like you go through all of this, like finding their memories.
Did fucking J.J. Abrams produce this or what?
How many lens flares are we talking about now?
No lens flares. Unfortunately, with that game, it lags so bad. So once you get to a point where you're like, because you get to have demon deer and some type of like evil bird that you raise on your island, and then you collect items from them. That like once you have, I think I had like 150 of them. That like you can't move around on the screen without it taking like forever. But it's a very cute game, and I'm excited to see what else they put out.
I mean, I think it's pretty cute when you hand your like 30th bottle of alcohol to the alcoholic bear on the island, and he's like, I drank myself to death. I suddenly remember now. That's pretty cute. Very cozy.
That's kind of along the lines of how the game goes. Like, there's another bear, and she was my favorite because she was like the bear that you would go to like cook items to take to other bears. And she would constantly put weird shit in the food and then be like, why do my customers not like this?
Because she remembered that she poisoned people for a living, and then she poisoned herself. And it's all cozy and cute because she's like, oh, I forgot I did that, teehee.
Uh-huh.
Hey, listen,
No.
I'm now the orange card bear, all right? You're not allowed in this sector.
That is a very, very...
I mean, my other favorite bear, because obviously the baking one, like, I relate to, like, I put weird stuff in, like, people's food all the time.
And you
poison
want to
people?
feed things to bears, too, from my recollection.
Yes, exactly. So there's a character he's a doomsday prepper, and he lives in this, like, barricaded, like, little home, and he gives you a
Please tell me they use the word barricaded. Do they say it's barricaded? And do they spell it wrong
remember.
for the pun?
But
Not
0 out of 10
everyone
game.
wants to fuck the English language, Michael.
0 out of 10 would never play that game if they didn't do that pun.
I don't remember if they do, but his whole thing is telling you that, like, the mayor is a conspiracy. There's these weird symbols all over the ground, and he's gonna figure out what they are, and he collects these weird rocks from you, and then he gives you your tinfoil hat, and it's just, it reminded me so much of my parents that I really loved him. It was really great.
Mom? Dad?
Oh, and then
Christians are down. Christians are down. Please, someone send in assistance.
And he would make you bring ingredients to him. Like, he would, like, I don't remember if he got, like, sick, but he would be like, oh, I need to eat this, this, and this, and then I'll be healthy, kind of thing. And also that just, he felt very anti-vax to me, and it was very funny. But finally, the game that I'm going to spend the most time talking to you about, because this game is my life right now, is Stardew Valley. Has anybody played Stardew Valley? Know anything about Stardew Valley?
I know plenty about Stardew Valley. I never played it myself.
So why do you know?
Because I've watched other people. I know other people that have played it.
Michael, you're so boring. This is so sad.
Oh, I'd rather play history simulators. Okay, I'll just tell you that.
Now, if Twitch played Stardew Valley, Michael'd know the fuck out of it.
I believe they might have. Give me a second. I'm gonna figure this out.
I don't care. It was a joke.
While you're looking
that
up, because I know you're not going to get over it.
Kill it before it spreads.
I was recommended Stardew Valley about 300 times by the Jolly Ginger Giant that, like, you would love this game, please play this game. You would love this game. And now I'm so far into the game that I'll ask him about it, and he'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I stopped playing a year ago. But the reason that I think I love this game so much is the premise of it. So basically, you start out, you're working for this corporation called Juno, and they're literally panned to a desk next to you where there's a skeleton, because this corporation does not give a fuck. And so you find out your grandpa died and he left you his farm. So you quit your corporate job and you move to this, like, small town farm, and you start building relationships with the characters, and you start farming your land, and there's mines, and you collect materials and build stuff, and it's really adorable. But
for a second, I thought you said there's Mayans, and I like there's human sacrifice.
There's
in this
Mayans.
thing?
The Mayans are the neighbors. You know, they only they're only loud in the the early hours when they're doing the blood sacrifice and all that other stuff. But other than that, they're okay.
Yeah, no, mines, like, you go get minerals.
Okay,
and, like,
I'm with it.
Yeah.
I also love that we've made, like, John is just itching to get a word in edgewise here cleanly, and Michael just screams over the top of him every time he moves in.
I'm feeling like spicy today, so I'm sorry. As an aside, I did find that someone had added a code to the Steam chat or something for Twitch to allow people to play Stardew Valley. It was a YouTuber by the name of Unsurpassable Z. So that someone has done this.
Well, there goes my next claim to fame. I guess I'll have to find something else.
We can't have Disinformed plays Stardew Valley. I'm sorry.
Hey, that was really captivating. Could you tell it again, or was Courtney presenting?
Oh yeah, I can tell it again. So there's a YouTuber that actually designed
it.
You asked.
You ass.
I think with the
True.
Zoom call glitching, John should just say whatever he wants to get in, and it'll be on the Audacity recording, and then Mike will have to go back and.
Honestly, I'll
It's
just leave it in. Everyone will be coherent, and he'll just be like me usually, where he's just screaming in the background, and it's great.
But the
if you want to really ruin your night, Michael, go look at some of the Facebook comments about your most recent episode. Because
I know some person said they can't understand a single thing I say.
In most of
they're
your
always
episodes,
so confused.
yes, that's Melanie, who I love and adore and cherish as a human being. And,
oh my god!
Yep.
Okay, so just because we're breaking the fourth wall here, I guess, John has posted on the chat feature. No, you don't always die from tobacco. Sometimes you just lose a lung.
Please tell me you know what he's referencing.
No.
No, you don't always die from tobacco.
So it's a cancer kazoo.
You're fired, Michael. Thank you. You just broke me, John. I appreciate that.
I broke myself.
Anyway, tell us more about Stardew Valley and its wonders and Mayans and minerals.
The human sacrifices start.
Oh.
Well, so you have like that portion of the game. Like you can honestly go on and never interact with the villagers and be like totally in your own world. Or you can do what I do, which is get in the middle of all the drama because it is so entertaining. And I think you guys are going to be into this drama.
Oh, good. Color me thirsty.
So let's start with the mayor of the town, right? So you go in, you meet the mayor of the town. Well, shortly after moving in, you find out he's sleeping with the owner of the feed store. And they're trying to keep it a secret, but you like walk in on them talking secretly all the time.
Now, do they intimate that sex acts are taking place, or is it just sort of you get the idea?
Is that bullshit at all?
That's why I'm asking. Oh.
And it even, so there's one cutscene, and I haven't got it in my game yet, and I think it's like a really low percentage of getting it, where they actually get in bed together. And you see that happen. And it's just them laying on top of each other in her house.
No, that's bullshit.
No.
That's okay. I guess I know nothing about this game. I knew you can romance everyone that's an adult in that game.
Gonna get there.
I was like, what kind of dew are we talking about here?
I mean,
Mountain Dew?
Jeez.
And so his relationship with Marnie is like this whole thing, and eventually you get sent on a quest to go retrieve his purple shorts from her bedroom. And you
it's a panty raid.
Yes. And you have to become friends with her before you're allowed in her room. So you have to like do this whole song and dance, make her be your friend so you can go in her bedroom, take his underwear, and return it to him.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
In addition to that, the mayor is also committing tax fraud. He is constantly collecting taxes from all of the people that live in town, and then he uses them to build gold statues of himself.
Nice.
And sometimes there's like a 10% chance that the statue will just appear in Marnie's room, and she acts like she doesn't know how it got there.
What?
Amazing.
Mayor Quimby over here.
Yeah.
And that's not the only drama that's going on in Marnie's house. You know, she leaves her window open and tells you about it, like waiting for the mayor to sneak in, which is hilarious. But her nephew, Shane, lives with her. And let me tell you about Shane. He's a problematic character.
Ooh, okay. I'm now suddenly super interested. Tell me all about Shane.
So, like Michael was saying, you can make all of the characters fall in love with you. So I'm dating like 8 guys and 7 girls or whatever it is, trying to get them all to fall in love with me. And my whole thing is once I get them all to fall in love with me, I'll finally pick one to marry.
Oh God, it's the Bachelor the home game here.
Yes. And then eventually I guess you can like have kids. I don't know if I want to do that unless they actually work the farm, because then they'll have use, but otherwise it seems like a waste of time to me.
Is that true? You can actually have kids in that game? Huh.
Supposedly, I haven't gotten that far.
All right, Baldu Valley.
But the thing about Shane, so when you first meet this character, he hates you. And he hates everyone else.
It's on brand.
Checks out.
And the only time he ever says anything nice is if you give him pizza or beer. Like, those are the only 2 things he likes.
There it goes. That's the deviation from it.
I know.
If it was coffee or something like that, it would be
coffee is another one of the items that he likes.
Coffee and blowjobs.
Yes.
So basically, I've been building this. The more you build relationships with the characters, the more cutscenes you get. So my most recent cutscene with Shane was I found him on the cliffs, and he was drunk out of his mind, and he was going to commit suicide. So I pick him up, I take him to the hospital.
Trigger warning? Is this how it feels like when I'm presenting?
Well, he doesn't die. It doesn't actually happen.
What the hell sort of fucking nonsense is this game trying to foist off on people? Firstly, bullshit.
No.
Wow.
You give him pizza and beer, but you gave him too much beer, so now he's on the cliffs. And
I did, yeah.
I knew I was a touch despondent, but apparently
it was those beers that you were gifted to by someone trying to woo you.
That's why I don't drink.
So anyways, I found him there. I take him to the hospital. They pump his stomach, and the doctor gives him information to go to a therapist. So Shane's in therapy now. He's doing really well. He goes to the bar. He's not drinking anymore. I can't. It's so fun. And he's nice to me now. So I'm like, great. We're doing really good.
Also, I can't truly believe that that's all in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
And apparently I've only scratched the surface, so I started watching like YouTube videos about some of the like cutscenes that you only get if you do certain things. And this game's got layers. One of the girls I'm dating, her name's Abigail, and she's the illegitimate child, supposedly, of the wizard that lives on the outskirts of town.
I know there's a wizard. That's just one thing that I knew about it, is that there's a wizard.
I wasn't ready.
What does the graphic content look? Not like it's graphic
8-bit.
Content, but okay.
It's 8-bit, yeah.
Oh my god! All right.
So when she says they're like laying on each other and that you can see the cutscene, it's literally just 2 pixel 8-bit sprites lying on top of each other. It's no Grand Theft Auto or anything like that.
It's not what you want to watch, Shane.
It depends.
8-bit, yeah.
I fapped to Oregon Trail just like everybody else did.
Oh.
Until the dysentery. It was a grand old time.
But then I decided the next thing I have to tell you is like about all my other love interests, because obviously this is where the meat of the game is. So just to describe a few, because I think yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Hey, I'm Mike Lindell. I'm back to talk about my pillow, because you're going to need to bite one when I'm done with you. Oh. Tally those votes.
Ever since John gave me that spicy book, I'm a different woman.
The economy will never recover.
And all the better for it. Keep giving us the meat here.
And also,
Arby's.
Also, Shane is not our only familiar name in this lineup, which I think is the best part. I think, yeah. Anyways, so some of the other viable marriage candidates that I have on the table include Haley, who's like the town fashion diva, Michael, the town doctor.
Bullshit.
That's bullshit.
There's no Dr. Michael yet. Superfan Michael is going to get there eventually, but not you, you hapless shit.
No, you're right. The doctor's name is Harvey. It's not Michael.
Wait, really? Was that bullshit?
Yeah.
Man, if you don't see a layup like that just laying in the wings, I'm ashamed of you, even more than I usually am.
We've got Alex the jock, Penny, who's the daughter of the town drunk named Pam. She's also the bus driver, which doesn't seem like a good job for her, but that's what the mayor decided. I don't question him.
Hey, the more kids we can kill, the better.
We've got Jonathan, who's this like rebellious loner guy that's really into sci-fi and doesn't have a job.
Whoa.
I fucking wish.
And then there's like a couple other characters that are also like viable marriage candidates, but they're kind of boring and I don't talk to them. Eventually I'll have to. Another one of my favorite characters, you can't marry him, which is really disappointing. His name is Linus, and he is homeless by choice. He lives in a tent on the mountain, and he gets really upset if you bring him bad gifts. I usually just give him food because that feels like the right thing to do. But if you like fall asleep in the game because you can only stay up till 2 a.m., he'll like bring you home, which is really nice. So we're like pals. And then I mentioned, and Michael knows about the wizard. The wizard has a really great backstory because, like I said, he's Abigail's father, probably. And he used to be married to this woman that once they got divorced, she turned into a witch, and sometimes she poisons your farm. And recently I broke into her swamp to steal stuff for the wizard.
How do you break into a swamp?
Well, it's obviously padlocked.
You have to bribe the dwarf.
Yeah. Wait, what? Bribe the dwarf?
I had to bribe, I think it's a dwarf. Or a goblin. It was a goblin, and I had to bribe him.
We don't use that word anymore.
That's a pejorative.
People,
I'm sorry.
No, the dwarves live in the mines. Yes, and so he's a goblin, and I had to give him, like, evil mayonnaise to get past him.
How is it evil? I have many questions. That doesn't,
yes, John?
jerking off motion does not sound evil to me.
I feel like we're all asking the right question.
Yeah. How do you make the mayonnaise evil, I think, is more important.
So there's like a void egg that you can buy from Krobus, who lives in the sewers, and then you put it in your mayonnaise machine, and then you make mayonnaise.
Wait, what?
That's what I'm going to call it from now on, the mayonnaise machine.
Oh, good. Before you marry it?
It's my mayonnaise machine.
Yeah, you put an egg in and you get mayonnaise out. I don't know what's confusing.
John,
okay,
please.
Never mind. I changed my mind. I don't need eggs in places.
You're gonna have to excuse me. I'm a little riled up now.
Mayonnaise machine.
The wand chooses the wizard, Harry.
Okay, so you have a mayonnaise machine and you feed it a void egg that you get from.
Yeah.
Oh, so you have, okay, so you feed a void egg that you get from some guy in the sewers.
His name's Krobus. He lives in the sewers. I haven't figured out how to befriend him yet, but he sells really cool stuff.
Yeah, I get their meat all the time.
He says I need to suck the egg out of a hole, but I have to be blindfolded the entire time.
I've had the Krobus meat scam for at least 3 years now. I just keep reselling them bad meat.
I mean, he did make me go down, like, a weird cave system in order to retrieve an item for him in order to, like, give me something else that I needed in the game.
Called anal. It's fine.
I was going to say, in the cave system, it can only be reached with a hand.
Butt spelunking.
Yeah. I had to be blindfolded.
I finally got to the treasure chest, got what I needed, got out of there, you know.
Pulled out real fast.
How many?
Ripcord.
Why do you have 3 mayonnaise machines?
Yeah, I think that's a better question.
How many
that bullshit?
Sammys are you making with 3 freaking mayo machines?
Yeah,
Well,
I think that's bullshit. I think you only need 1 mayonnaise machine.
I can actually make unlimited mayonnaise machines. There's nobody to stop me.
Is there one dedicated to like fry sauce, or what's happening here?
No, so a big part of the game is making money. And so I have like barns on my farm, so I've got chickens and ducks, and then you harvest their eggs, and then you take them. I keep all of my mayonnaise makers in my shed, so I take the eggs to my shed, and then I put them in the mayonnaise machines, which I built myself, obviously. And then
hand, of course.
Yeah, once the mayonnaise is done, I go and sell it. I also have cheese machines. I have... Go ahead, John.
If they ever misbehave, do you give them the hose again?
Oh, wait, were these some big old fat eggs?
Well, if you don't pet all the animals every day, they get upset with you, so...
Well, Michael's not going to have a problem.
They're not my animals.
Come here, Minnie Penny, I'm going to give you another treat. I know you don't need to be milked, but I feel an urge.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do in Stardew Valley that maybe you didn't know about, Michael, and maybe you should be playing Stardew Valley. There is a co-op mode. We could all have a farm together. I'm just saying.
I don't think Jonah would approve.
Oh my goodness. That sounds fantastic.
Well, we all get our own little cabins. It'll be fine.
As long as I get my own mayo machine, I'm okay.
Oh, you can have
I
so
demand
many.
constant. I demand my shed filled with nothing but mayonnaise.
Actually,
machines.
Shane, you know what you would be into is I have a slime hutch, where I breed slimes, and then they lay slime eggs, and then when you cut open the slime eggs, it just throws slime everywhere, and you have to pick it all up to use it as a crafting material.
Apparently, no. Actually, what I'm into is pizza and beer, and self-harm.
Put that on the fucking sticker.
Pizza, beer, and self-harm.
Now the question is once you go into the slime hutch, do any of those fucking fuckers just come out of the wall, or?
Thank you.
No, but they do try to kill you.
A big fat load of cum then.
That's what the mayonnaise makers are for.
He slimed me.
Well, actually, so here's the best part. Once you collect 100 slimes, you put them in a slime incubator, and it pops out an egg, so...
What kind of egg?
A slime egg?
Don't
What's
you already
in
get
the
those
egg?
by just having the slimes?
Yes, but you can also make more in case you don't have enough slimes, and then you put the slimes in the little incubator, and then eventually they hatch, and then they live in the slime hutch.
Now, when you walk into there, do you go, "It's slime time"?
Exactly.
Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate the pun.
So yeah, Stardew Valley. It's a passion of mine. The creator, actually, if you've been following gaming news,
Chucklefish, right? That's the name of the company
Excuse
that he runs.
I don't care. I don't know.
Because, and she'll probably say it as well. Stardew Valley was made by one person.
Yes.
I'm not shocked.
And I think that might be my favorite person in the whole world because they like all the things I like.
Sorry, Jonah.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty tall order to beat. You know, make a whole game where you can have 15 boyfriends/girlfriends, and then you can have multiple mayonnaise makers.
I mean, I thought that was what Facebook was for initially.
True.
It's Farmville on the next level, yeah.
Oh.
Catfish and spicy mayo.
But he just actually announced that he's releasing a new game called Haunted Chocolatier, where you run a haunted chocolate factory, and I am so excited.
Oh,
Was
my.
Dahmer work there?
There's bones
find
in the
out.
chocolate.
Bonesaw.
So stay tuned, guys. I will update you when I start.
I'm sorry, Grandma. I have to go work at the chocolate factory again. And that's when the cannibalism started. Oh, yeah.
So that's it. I'm gonna leave Stardew Valley there for you, and I'm actually.
Oh shit! I felt like that was gonna be part 1. Next episode, Stardew Valley 2.
I mean, if more interesting things happen, I will update you. But I think the biggest reason that I enjoy cozy games so much is there's just really a low threshold for entry. Like, some of these games start at like $10.
I always love a low threshold for entry.
That's
one
what
of
we
my
know about
major
you,
selling points. Yes, yes.
And $10 will get you lots of content.
That it will.
I don't spend any money.
He'll go for 0.
I can't guarantee the quality at 0, but I'm sure there's games out there for you.
Shane
too.
can.
It's freebie
Shane
or
can.
I leave you.
For $5, what were you expecting? Lobster?
I thought you were going to staple your hands together.
Is that...
Sorry, go back to your low threshold for entry.
I just can't. So these games start at like $10. I think Stardew Valley costs like $15. And when you think about like how much time you spend playing these games, like $15 is nothing. I mean, granted, most of the bigger mainstream games go for about $60. But again, like if you think about how much time you're spending on these games, you come out ahead on that.
I come out ahead all the time.
There we go.
That's the spirit.
I actually purposely did not edit the way I phrase things this week just for you.
Bless you.
It's like Christmas.
Such a fruitful field for me to plow and plant and reap.
These games also aim to be more inclusive. So we see a lot more of these games have more races that you can play as. You can play as different gender identities or more sexual orientation, stuff like that. I actually saw a really heartwarming conversation on Twitter between one of the creators of Cozy Grove and a fan that was like, hey, eventually would you consider putting like a wheelchair-bound character in your game so I could see myself in a game for the first time? So we see a lot of these indie creators really striving to meet those demands.
I'm so glad that based on the context of where you were going with that, I was terrified of the sort of things that people would be proposing where you're like, yeah, you can be a little more sexually fluid. Is like, I really want to fuck goats. Is that possible?
And there's a patch.
Oh, no.
Billy Goat's rough.
That's the name of the patch.
The name of the patch is Would You Like to Live Deliciously, Michael?
Oh, God.
True.
Now introducing goat's milk.
Oh, yeah, I do have goat's milk on Stardew Valley, actually.
To make the evil mayonnaise or
no,
the
that's to
mayonnaise?
make cheese.
Oh, okay.
There's no milk in mayonnaise, Michael.
I don't know. I
Thank
don't make
God.
Mayonnaise. Not that way.
And Melissa'd have killed me by now.
Another instance of games being more inclusive because we're changing directions here. We're talking about nice things.
Yes, and also, yes, kudos and brilliant to entertain the notion of getting depictions of individuals who are not commonly shown. That is brilliant. Applause for that.
And the creator did say he was going to take it to the developers and see what they could do. So hopefully he was being honest and we'll see something come from that. There was actually a petition, I want to say it was last summer or the year before, to add more textured hairstyles to Animal Crossing so that people of color felt more represented when creating their character. And Nintendo did. They gave 5 new hairstyles to choose from that actually included like curly texture hair, afro textured hair, like a dreadlocks one. Really cool.
That's excellent. It's also one of the reasons why I really adored and appreciated the X-Men comics back in the day. That is an exceptionally inclusive, and then to have a character who is wheelchair bound, who is the progenitor of the entire thing, was always very inspiring for me.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, not being sarcastic. Michael.
Oh, I thought you just related
not
to him
at
because you
all.
were bald, but all right.
I mean, there are common depictions of follically challenged folks throughout the whole of human history. Thank you.
Follically challenged?
Yes, some of us have to have a solar panel for the sex machine, okay?
I know somebody that has a shirt that says that.
Yeah, he made it.
Charges up his big peepee.
Amazing. And I think, so the last point that I'd like to make is the other reason that I think these games have become so popular and why I enjoy them so much is I'm a poor person. And poor people don't get to buy all the cute furniture that comes out and like redecorate their homes all the time. But in the majority of the games that I play, not only can you decorate it and buy whatever crap you want with fake currency, you can also like wear the cutest clothes and do all this customization, which as a poor person, I can't do in real life. And so, for that, I'm going to stick to my cozy games.
And it also lends to very safe polyamory.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for
your
that.
15
I'll report
boyfriends
back
and
if I catch
girlfriends.
any STDs.
I was going to say, some of us did attempt to collect harems at points in our lives, and it's very deadly. It's a dangerous game.
Now, I know how tiresome is it going to be for me to talk for just a second?
Oh, you're
No,
good.
Very.
go for it.
Oh, okay. Did I ever tell you the only 2 things in this world that I'm allergic to?
No.
Mayonnaise?
No.
Love and affection.
Mayonnaise and condoms.
Close. Really close.
All of those and neither.
I don't remember who I had this conversation with because they were like, considering what you're allergic to, I can't believe you were such a busy guy back in the before times. I'm allergic to amoxicillin and penicillin. If I get like an STD, there's like no cure for me.
You're dead.
Oh, there is.
Gone.
It's napalm.
Burn it.
Just gotta bomb your dick back to the Stone Age.
How are you alive?
I have no goodly idea. Not a one.
Huh.
No idea.
Listen, alcohol can kill a lot of things, rubbing or otherwise.
I mean, I've been
True.
drinking a lot.
I mean, have you ever seen this guy behind a bar? He dips his dick in every single beer he hands out.
I just want people
It's
to.
one of the
that's
selling
his,
points
his
at his
signature of
establishment.
approval. Yeah.
I just want them to feel love.
Taste testing.
I put a little bit of mayo in every glass.
Indeed.
Evil mayo.
That is why his official nickname is Captain Teabag.
Papa guacamole mayo.
Ugh.
What were the lies? We only
Yeah,
got
you guys-
one.
You guys got 1 of 6.
I'm interested in was just because I have to do this for my own edification. Was you wake up next to a skeleton in the workplace bullshit?
No, so like it pans
That is
to,
true. I've seen the intro. And
it pans
yeah.
all these cubicles, and there's like a guy, I think he's like throwing up, and then there's you, and then there's a skeleton at the desk,
Okay.
purportedly dead because they worked him to death.
And since you already went there once, maybe you do it again. Is Jonathan a made-up character?
It is a made-up character.
Oh, you went to the well twice thinking we were just going to leave it? How dare you?
That character's name is Sebastian.
Okay, finally, is Shane also a made-up character?
He is not a made-up character.
Okay.
Courtney has actually shown me pictures of the character Shane.
I'm not shocked.
She sent me screenshots being like, this is something Shane would actually say.
Did I tell you I got one of the greatest reactions in the whole of human history the other day as I was leaving work? So tell me if I said the joke already. But I've got, of course, the mask on and everything as I'm strolling out. And one of my student workers says, like, are those your new glasses? And I'm like, yeah. I just got these. She's like, they look really good. And because I am, immune to compliments, as we've shown from John and I having those discussions, I was like, yeah, I'm essentially just one more qualifying characteristic away from being the worst fucking Guess Who character in the entirety of human history. And it took her a second, and then she laughed, and I went on. But yeah, I was like, yep. Does he have a hat? Mm-hmm. Glasses? Yep. Got a beard? Yeah. Salty attitude? You're Shane.
Oh, it's so
Can
good.
I guess, because you used numbers once, I think you said a 10% chance of something happening. Is that bullshit? Were
That's
you throwing
not,
us a number
but there
lie?
is a number lie in here.
Shit.
I was like, how well were
the
you
number of
paying
boyfriends
attention?
and girlfriends. You don't have
No,
8 boyfriends and 7
It
girlfriends.
was
spitballed
15.
Oh.
No.
Jackass.
But
So
you're so close, but no.
Just like my degree.
It's the number of mayonnaise machines.
I think I called bullshit on that.
You did.
Yeah.
No.
Why would you need 3?
I told you probably 2 or 3 times because we had some technical issues that I've played 700 hours of Animal Crossing. I've only played 400 hours of Animal Crossing.
That's
Oh,
a cheap
well,
dig.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have a leg to stand on this as far as like how many hours you put into a game. I think my Dead by Daylight for 2020 was close to 380. So I get it.
And
Well,
I
you
mean,
ready to hear my record for a game?
Yes.
Yeah.
On a game I've been playing since 2012, I have over 1,448 hours.
Holy crap.
Is it a degree simulator?
No, because then I would know what to do. It's a history simulator to simulate essentially the Enlightenment. If I took a degree simulator, then I would at least have a better idea and would make better progress in my degree instead of the 0% that I am currently at. So,
well, I have you all beat, I'm afraid, because I have been hating humanity for nearly 40 years.
That's not a game. That's just truth.
The lifestyle.
Yeah.
My lifestyle determines their death style.
Sad but true.
Keep searching. Keep on searching. The
tick,
search
tick,
goes
tock.
on.
I mean, you guys are doing great with stabs. Do we want to go for any other ones?
Me.
I was saving that for tomorrow, but I guess.
Oh,
Speaking of which, yes, we need to get on to the fact that you violated my personal privacy
Wait,
before we
this is-
leave.
this
wait.
is
But yes,
post-roll.
finish your lies.
Yeah.
Michael, I'm really disappointed in you because you said you knew this game. Carrion is not about a slime monster. It's about a tentacle monster.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Sweetens
haven't
the
seen
pot.
enough hentai to know that where that was going. So
Bullshit.
Yeah, you basically
That's-
fucking
You've seen
invented
more
it.
than enough hentai to know where that was going.
I honestly, I've seen probably at most an hour or two of this game.
I
Well,
looked it up
there's
You were
for
gonna say
30
hentai.
seconds today and made that up for you, so I'm really
Okay,
disappointed.
where is the hentai in
I was like,
Stardew Valley? Like, that's not something I immediately look for.
there is a
No.
reason that your third nickname is Squidward, motherfucker.
Is it?
And it's
He's-
not just your delivery.
He's saying that you
What?
watch a lot of tentacle porn. That's what
Yes.
he's trying to tell you.
I haven't even done that episode yet.
All right, SpongeBob porn pants. Let's move on.
And just to clarify, I'm not talking about Stardew Valley. I'm talking about that other game called Carry On, which is the horror game where you play as the monster and you go through the facility. You are not a slime monster, and it's not a lab.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't hear that part. That's fair. I thought you were talking about slime monsters in when you were talking about Shane killing slime monsters with the slime egg. I didn't hear that you called them a slime monster. That was my fault.
So you would have
Yeah.
known that it was a tentacle monster.
Yes, yeah, because that's how it moves. Is it shoots tentacles out and it pulls itself along that way. I've seen gameplay of it.
Are they slimy tentacles, and that's why you were confused?
Name
Well,
5.
They penetrate a lot of like surfaces and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, so how many lies is that now?
I think we're at 4.
Okay.
In Cozy Grove, you do not play as a creature cadet. You play as a spirit scout. It's very much based on Girl Scouts that you as you
Get
play.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You play as Mike Lindell and you sell perfect pillows.
Which again, a lot of these were cheap shots because I didn't know if you guys were going to know any of the subject material. So,
Creature
That's-
cadet, my ass.
Mhm.
It's a fair point.
and then the last one again. I think Michael should have known this since he knows so much about Stardew
You
Valley.
assume so much about my knowledges.
Yeah,
And
that's-
I'm sticking to how I said that. My knowledges.
I don't think anyone assumes anything about your knowledges, my friend.
She did, which is why she
Non-existent
came up
or
with these
otherwise.
lies. Never assume I know anything about anything ever. If it does, it's because like something clicked in my head and I suddenly had some intuition.
Change degrees.
But I told you that the evil corporation in Stardew Valley is called Juno. It's actually called Joja Corp, and Michael should have known that.
Because of my extensive research into this material, yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
Joja
hour-
Corp?
Yeah.
Ju-on, was that a reference to like the like Japanese horror flick or something
She
like
said
that?
Juno, you deaf nut.
Oh. What?
I said you deaf nut.
Oh, okay.
No, when writing this, the only thing they're gonna have a shot at getting is the names of the characters in the game. And
Yeah.
the rest of it was just for me and anybody else who's into cozy gaming.
All right, so the next time I present, forgive me, I apologize. I'm just going to list the name of every porn star I've ever masturbated to and hope that you guess. And John's going to be the only one who has any frame of reference.
Yeah.
Oh, this porn star. Well, she obviously she operated between the years of 2012 and 2018. There was a brief stint where she took a break because she was finding herself in Tijuana.
Why do you assume that they're females?
Yeah, you fuck.
I assume there's at least one, so that's fair. That was my bad because I assumed.
That Peter North.
Let me explain myself, though, that I don't write these episodes for you losers. I write them for our 5 listeners.
Excuse you.
I mean, it's fair.
You were one of those 5 listeners, Miss High and Mighty.
6.
I was 6, and now there's only 5.
Yeah, you've actually ruined us. So go back to paying attention to the episodes.
I do still download it every week, so...
Well, some of us do that multiple times.
You know what else she does every week? Finds a way to torment one of us.
Too right.
And she got you this week.
She sure did, but unfortunately, I cannot be had because I had a tingle in my spidey senses, and so I stayed home and shit myself so that I didn't have to encounter Courtney in my workplace.
Courtney, would you care to share your story?
Yeah, so I had made a plan with Superfan Steven, who is also a coworker of Shane's, because I was going to be out that way to see the Jonas Brothers last night, which was my sexual reawakening, in case anybody cared.
Nice.
You're practically glowing.
I congratulate her and her sexual reawakening.
You have to have an actual sexual awakening first before you can reawaken. And if it's the Jonas Boys that are turning you on, I'm going to quibble with the actuality.
Has she been to a concert before then? Because that's when she probably had her sexual awakening.
I'm sure she had the Crapture previously, yes.
Well, It worked out great because it was the same venue I saw them at when I was 13, which is why I wanted to go.
See? There you go. Sexual reawakening. The sexual awakening and then the sexual reawakening.
Shut your mumbled ass up and let her finish her story.
Marriage.
Humpading. Humpading.
I know that one. So I had plans to kind of be, 4,000 miles from where I live anyway. So I was like, well, I might as well go up to the library, which charges for parking, which was really upsetting.
Joke's on you. You have no idea how much they bilk money out of the unsuspecting.
That's why I still work at my second job, because I will never pay to park on that place, in that place.
Around that place.
That place.
Through that place.
Yes.
Atop.
All of them.
Beneath.
But so I went up to the library and I met with Steven and I got the full tour, including Shane's private areas. And I think that's where he should really take over.
Yeah, you've been trying to find those places for years.
Greater people have tried.
It's the mayonnaise maker.
Few have succeeded, many have perished.
It should be noted for everybody here that there are a number of pictures in situ of members of this podcast that have been shared with our group chat routinely.
It's for the calendar I'm making.
Yes. The many faces of fear. And
merch.
No, it's pronounced March.
It's not a bad idea.
So, needless to say, John has been photographed behind the bar many times. John has photographed Michael's drunk ass purchasing alcohol on throngs of occasions.
So depressed.
And so Courtney has insisted that she is going to add me onto the list. And unlike most Pokemon, you can't catch me. If Steven didn't mention, I hide in that office and barricade the door most days so that I do not have to deal with the mouth-breathing public. So you gotta work a little harder. You gotta wake up a lot earlier in the morning to snatch old Shane in his office.
It is known.
I mean, you've made the grave mistake of giving me your address, so it's gonna happen.
But I moved subsequently, so ha ha!
Oh
the plot thickens.
That's all right.
I played the long game, friend. You think
God
that
damn
was
it.
unintentional, but
Well, I'm moving next week, so here, you can have my address.
Shane.
I don't care anymore.
Shane, you should have never told her that you moved because she would have accidentally reenacted the strangers at someone's poor house.
She's all in the windows taking pictures like, I'm creeping on him.
if that happens, I want to be present. I want to see her with a freaking handbag on her head, just stalking and wheezing near the doorway.
Courtney,
You
you
were
haven't seen the
home.
movie, but it's perfectly on brand for it. It's the potato sack, I think, in the movie.
Yes. Sorry.
Oh.
Haven't seen a handbag in a while, but
Yeah.
they're delightful.
Well, you got to clean it up.
Thank you. Don't got to get hot about it. Well, that was a phenomenal episode, as always. And I cannot tell you, having gone back for, I was making recommendations for the pod to a colleague of Stephen and I referred him to our YouTube playlists for, our greatest misses, which is the most downloaded shows. But I have also, and I mentioned this previously, but for those of you who are interested, I have a mythology playlist, which is the origin of many of our fun catchphrases and some of our favorite debacles that we have discussed. So the heavy water sabotage is featured. But I've got the Bell Witch in there so that we could show the origin of course, By the Eternal and Behold and all of the other things that we had. So it's very entertaining, but I got to relive some of these things as I was going back. And so now we'll have Mayonnaise Machine in here and we'll all know where it originated.
Yep.
But I also revisited The Haunting of Loftus Hall because it's a spoopy month. And that was the episode where Jonah was the co-host.
Yeah.
And grand time, and he still hasn't listened to a single episode since, I'm sure.
Nope.
Not
Not even that one.
Nope. Why would he want to revisit that,
A
frankly?
man after my own heart.
He told me after that one, he was like, I didn't know what was going on the whole time. And I was like, that's
Yep.
not any different than any other time with you, bud.
I was like, that's why you married him, right? Why do we need another mayonnaise machine? Just shut up and pay for it.
Put the eggs in the machine or you get the hose again.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, here comes the slime egg. Yes, dear. Well,
Incubate
how
me.
cozy can you get? That's the question.
One-handed cozy.
You didn't mention the one-handed cozy games at all.
No,
True.
It's because it's not a cozy game. I think Michael should conquer
beg to
that
differ.
topic.
Pretty cozy. Pretty cozy.
I'm
to
very
me, but-
comfy right now.
Yeah. I'm not even using any of my hands.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? If I do an episode on Hatful
Yep.
Boyfriend, I will
Please.
include a section on one-handed gaming because I feel like those things go together.
Just do an episode on dating simulators. I feel like that would just be perfect content.
It's the
I
only
only
way-
played that one though.
It's the only way that I get an anaerobic workout. I'm in a robe right now.
Oh, no. God damn it. You really dadded it up today.
Yeah, I was like, do you need to start reaching out to exes or something like that? Or
I know that
Just-
most of them are in prison right now or on tour, so I'm safe.
At least
Oh,
one.
okay.
At least one is probably in jail.
No doubt.
Charles?
God, I
whoa,
hope so.
whoa.
Go
Yeah,
on.
requisitioning cumsicles.
You've already told that story. It's a good one.
I have,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
If those of you who want to go back in, it is featured
It's
on
in there somewhere.
the last Thursdayism episode, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I
That would
think
make sense.
so, yeah.
Yeah, you can
And,
revisit
also,
that.
Last Thursdayism was one of my favorites.
Yes, in the archives, as we like to say here, because there is a plethora of content available for you to plunder, and someone has, as evidenced by the fact that I referred to Michael laying siege to all of the Disinformed After Dark. He has commented on half of them, and I had to start throwing witty retorts out. So I'm doing work for all of you folks here who do not interact with our audience.
I've noticed.
Doing Satan's work there. Appreciate it.
It's a lot of heavy lifting.
We get the
You should be
notification.
getting a package from me any day now. So.
Is there mayonnaise in it?
No,
Wouldn't you like
it's
to
a
know?
mayonnaise maker.
That
Let's see,
comes later.
There's a one-handed game in there somewhere. But yes, we're eagerly anticipating when Michael receives that care package, because I think that is when I will bring him on for a little discussion about all the nonsense in there, so we can show to you lovely listeners out there what you can get with just a smidgen of interaction with us. And you can do so through all of your favorite ways, including the glorious link tree that we have in the show notes. So as you are listening to this lovely thing, just crank that little podcast episode open, and you can follow us on all of our fun little preferred socials, and over on the Tubes of You, where we have just got endless amounts of content, which Michael's about to burn through, so we need to start churning out more. But you can also give us a little like and subscribe on your preferred podcast provider platform, because we would love to have you here on the regular.
And now.
Very important. But I believe that is going to officially wrap this rascal up just like the comforting rope of a robe. And so, for the Disinformed podcast this week, I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
And
take
zippity zoop, we're out of here.